fortune, and I'm now earning twice as much money as I am working full.
I have taken 5 of my best learning courses. These are the 5 top
full-time on my job. Would you like to hear my story? Do you imagine anybody would say, no, I don't care to hear your story? No. Everybody I said that to said, wow, yes, what are you doing? I said, I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you. Now, when I started making twice as much money part-time as full-time, here's my dilemma. I didn't want to go full-time. And why not go full-time? And the reason was because I didn't want to give up my electrifying story. Right? It was so powerful, nobody could resist the invitation to at least take a look. I didn't want to give it up. And I hung on for I don't know how long until it was, almost insane. Then finally, reluctantly, I gave up my full-time job. But now, you can imagine the thrill and excitement of going to work full-time on my fortune. It was incredible. But I want you to jot down the magic of part-time. What does it take to really change a person's lifestyle? Not very much. An extra $1,000 a month, I'm telling you, will drastically change most American families' lifestyle. And that's why part-time is so valuable, because it very quickly changes a person's lifestyle. And here's what the change in lifestyle does. It's a great recruiting tool. One of the greatest recruiting attractions is the money you make part-time. Somebody said, you've been on 3 vacations this year? Says, yes, I got this little part-time thing going. Says, what's that? You bought 2 new cars, one for you and one for her? How did you do that? Said, I got this little part-time thing going. Your kids have got all these new clothes? Yes. All this stuff is happening. What is it? An extra $1,000 a month. See, $1,000 a month full-time, nobody wants to hear your story. $1,000 a month part-time, that starts to change your lifestyle, everybody wants to hear your story. So the key is part-time. The magic and the attraction of part-time gives you a classic invitation for somebody to listen to what you're doing that's changing your life. And it's not just necessarily the money that changes your life. It's what you do with the money. It's the change of lifestyle. So part-time helps to change lifestyle, which gives you a classic invitation to look at what you're doing. That's how I started in network marketing, age 25. Wow, these philosophies changed my life. I wish I would have learned them in high school. In high school, if they would have offered Wealth 1, Wealth 2, I'd have taken both classes. I wouldn't have waited until I was 25 and broke. Here's the next one. Philosophy that helped change my life. It's not what happens that determines your life future. It's not what happens that determines your life future. It's what you do about what happens. All of us are in like a little sailboat. And it's not the blowing of the wind that determines your destination. It's the set of the sail. So jot this phrase down. It's one of the best to understand. Kids need to understand it. The same wind blows on us all. The same wind blows on us all. The wind of disaster, the wind of opportunity, the wind of change. The wind when it's upside down, the wind when it's favorable and unfavorable. The same wind blows on us all. The economic wind, the social wind, the political wind. The same wind blows on everybody. The difference in where you arrive in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, the difference in arrival is not the blowing of the wind, but the set of the sail. And that's what learning is all about, to set a better sail this year than last year. To set a better sail. The first 6 years of my economic life, I wound up broke. Second 6 years, I wound up rich. You say, well, the Democrats must have finally gotten power. No. It was not a political change. Here's what changed the second 6 years of my economic life. It was my philosophy that changed. The set of the sail of better thinking, correcting the errors of the past and picking up new disciplines for the future. That's all I had to do at the end of the first 6. Correct the errors of the past and then pick up some new disciplines for the future. And my total life changed. The second 6 years was totally different than the first 6 of my working life. And guess who can do that? Anybody. Now, you can keep on the same path for the next couple of years as you have the past two. But if you wish to, and maybe everything's okay for you and you don't need to, but if you need to make some changes, I'm telling you, you can start doing it today so that the next 2 years will be drastically different than the last two. And anybody who wishes to do that can. And you can do it between ages 40 and 43. You can do it between ages 13 and 50. You can do it between ages 60 and 62. Any 2 years, any 5 years that you wish to drastically change from the previous 5, you can do it. If you wish to. Now, this isn't written. This is not a law. Here's what it's called: opportunity. But if you don't know you can change, if you don't know you can drastically change your income, change your future, change your health, change your marriage, change everything, if you don't know that, some people then go year after year after year after year not making much change simply because they didn't get to the class. They never read the book. They never went to the seminar. They never made the discovery. They didn't seek for the knowledge of how could I make my life better. And if you just rock along, I'm telling you, it's okay. Anybody can live any way they choose. But I'm here to tell all of you that if you wish to, it's possible to make the next 3 years totally different than the last 3. And all you have to do is just a few things. So if you got that one now, it's not the blowing of the wind that determines your income. It's not the blowing of the wind that determines your fortune. It's the set of the sail. And that's why we gathered here today. Maybe I've got some ideas that'll help you with a couple of little things about setting the sail of your thinking that might drastically give you.
All right, guys, I'm going to start in 60 seconds. We're going to start in 60 seconds. So let everybody know that Mornings with Nano is live and that we are going to be getting started in exactly 60 seconds. So send out the group chat to your Telegrams, your Discords, your iMessage group chats, and let everybody know that Mornings with Nano is starting in 60 seconds, fam. Let's run it.
Multiplied more benefit the next 3 years than you've gotten in the last 3. So it's not what happens. What happens to everybody. Chevron years ago brought me in to talk to management. They said, Mr. Owen, you travel around the world and you're fairly knowledgeable. What do you think the next 10 years are going to be like? I said, gentlemen, I can tell you I do know the right people. So they all leaned forward and listened carefully. And I said, gentlemen, the next 10 years are going to be about like the last 10. The next season after fall is, well, I promise you that's not going to change. After day comes night. I promise you that's not going to change. Here's how the last 6,000 years reads. If you want to make a note of Jim Rohn's vision of history the last 6,000 years, here's how it reads: opportunity mixed with difficulty. And if we're around another 6,000 years, it's going to read like that looks like for the next 6,000 years. Opportunity mixed with difficulty. Now, sometimes there seems to be more opportunity than difficulty, and then sometimes there seems to be more difficulty than opportunity, but the mix isn't going to change. After expansion comes recession. But after recession comes expansion. Not to think so, see, is naive. And once you've got just a little of this stuff settled, then you know exactly what to do. You know exactly what to anticipate, so you can be ready. Now, here's the next one, and I heard it in my invitation. Here's what it says: for things to change, you have to change. I was hoping the government would change, and taxes would change, and economics would change, and my boss would change and be more generous. I wished for everything to change, and my teacher said, no, Mr. Owen, for things to change for you, you have to change. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better.
All right, familia, grand rising, and happy Wednesday. I'm so blessed, so grateful to be here with each and every single one of you. Welcome back to Mornings with Nano. We have a great call ahead of us. I'm looking forward to it. Really, really am. Hope everybody is doing phenomenal, feeling blessed, high vibrations only, expecting miracles and getting miracles. Today is Christmas. Everything always works in our favor, and that is the beautiful thing about this incredible life that we live. That we live a phenomenal life filled with a lot of blessings, filled with a lot of, just abundance, and we are vibrating high, fam. And I'm just grateful that all of you guys are here on this call, ready to learn. Thank you guys for your high teachability indexes. I hope you guys are applying the information really quick, right? If you took some of the information that I talked about yesterday and you applied it, put a 3 in the chat box if you applied some of that information yesterday, right? If you applied, doing creating the uncomfortable list, right? Doing your evaluation. Who did their evaluations, right? I want to know. I want to know who did them. I want to see who's actually applying the information, because remember, guys, at the end of the day, these calls mean absolutely nothing if they're not being applied. It's really no point of us doing these calls and you jumping on these calls if you are not applying the information that we teach on this call. So it's important that you make that list, because think about it. What effort does it take for you to sit down, grab your journal, and make a list? Okay, what makes me uncomfortable? This makes me uncomfortable. That makes me uncomfortable. This, and that. And then applying it, like, okay, my evaluation. All right, what did I do well the first 3 quarters? What didn't I do well the first 3 quarters? And what improvements, do I got to make the next quarter, right? You could do that, right? You can literally do that yourself. It is so easy for you to do that, right? And this is what I want you to understand, that this is a perfect time. This is, like I said, and this is actually, I had this call with my leaders yesterday. But what I told them yesterday was that the 4th quarter is all about action, right? That's what this is all about right now. It's all about action, 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 action. Nothing else matters this quarter, right? But action, right? You had your time to chill in the summer. You had your time to build yourself up in the spring, right? You had your time to do these things, but the 4th quarter is action, 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 right? So type action in the chat box for me if you're ready to take massive action for the rest of the year, right? For the rest of the we probably have less than 80 days left of the year now at this point. But it's action, guys, and it's action, and it's action, because action is what's going to get us the results that we want. And what I was explaining to my leaders last night was, remember, we planted in the spring, okay? We planted seeds in the spring, all right? We grow in the summer and we harvest in the fall, okay? But what I was explaining was that when you harvest, you actually work more than when you plant the seeds. Because think about it, the harvest is there now. The harvest has grown. Now it's time for you to go out there and pick that harvest. Every day, you got to go and pick that harvest up. Take it out of the ground. Climb that tree, whatever it is, that harvest is grown now. Right? So don't think that just because, it's grown, that it doesn't mean that you have, if anything, you work more during harvest season than you do through any other season of the year. And I want y'all to remember that, because your harvest is here now. You guys been working for this all year. Whether you've been in the business all year or not, you've put in a lot of work all year for what it is that is happening for you. Remember, we are in the 10th month of the year. 10 months. Next thing you know, it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and this year is over. Look how fast it passed. It's harvest season. It's harvest season, family. So in harvest season, I want you to remember this. You work more during your harvest season than in any other season of your career. Than any other season of the year. You're going to work more now than ever. So make sure that you guys are taking action. Now, before we get the call started, that was just a quick little message that came to my mind, but let's make sure that we are, let's make sure that we practice some gratitude. Can you guys type down in the chat box, what is one thing that you are grateful for? Let me put this window down because they're doing some construction. But type down in the chat box, what's one thing you're grateful for, fam? Let me know if it gets too loud. With the construction going on outside, they're building like a building literally right next to this building. So they've been doing it a lot. But I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my mind, my body, and my spirit. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dadiana. I'm extremely grateful for my life, my business, my team, the leaders within my organization. I'm grateful for information. I'm grateful for the books that I'm reading. I'm grateful for the people that I'm surrounded with. Dude, I'm grateful for this cologne that I got in Dubai. Funny story, I bought this cologne in Dubai, and this cologne has been so awesome because you can only buy it in two places, and you can only buy it in Dubai or London. And dude, it smells so good. It kind of gives you that Dubai smell, but like kind of, I don't know if anybody knows what baccarat is. It's like a mixture of the two, and I've been getting so many compliments on it when I wear it. It's like, I think it's just became my favorite cologne. It's oud, but it's like a soft oud, right? It's like a very soft and like fruity oud, and it smells unbelievable. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for coffee. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for the whole mornings with the Nano community. I'm grateful for just everything that is happening in my life. There's just so much to be grateful for. Grateful for the travel. I'm grateful for an event that I'm going to be doing next week in Miami. That's going to be amazing. So I'm looking forward to it, fam. Really, really looking forward to it. So let's get this call started. I got a really, really good topic for us today. I actually was able to get this training from my brother Jason Brown. Jason Brown actually did a phenomenal training. Um, Jason Brown did a phenomenal training in Zurich, and it's super powerful because it talked about how to finish the year strong, right? And I want you guys to write this down if you haven't written this down. Remember, it's not about how you start the year, it's how you finish the year. Okay, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Okay, and I mentioned this, yesterday. I let you guys know, hey, look, it doesn't matter if you haven't had the best 10 months of the year. It doesn't matter if you didn't have the best summer or the best spring, or if things haven't gone good up until this moment, right? The only thing that you can control is what you do moving forward from this day going forward. Okay, trust me, guys. Like I told you guys yesterday, I've had years where I took off and I took a step back and I let off the gas pedal. And then I've had years where, remember, guys, I've been in this game for 5 years now. So I can tell you guys, I've been through a lot of different experiences. I'll tell you guys what, and I'll give you guys another breakdown of something that happened to me in the past. Um, I had this one year where I had a whole year that was tough, like struggle after struggle, loss after loss, lesson after lesson, failure after failure, like the whole entire year up until like September, right? I had like it was a struggle year, right? There's certain years that are just struggles. There's certain years where the winter lasted 9 months, 10 months. Like I had one of those years, but what's amazing about it was that even though I had 9 to 10 months of struggle and failure and loss, I was able to make a shift the last 2 or 3 months of the year. Okay. And guess what? I finished the year strong and I was able to put behind me the 9 months of struggle. So I want to make sure that you understand that, like, hey, I've been through some of the things that some of you have gone through, maybe not on the same level. Okay, maybe not on the same level, but understand, guys, that struggle is struggle. And you can go through struggle for a whole 9 to 10 months, and you can be good and work on yourself for 2 months, and those 2 months will make up for the last 10 months that you didn't have, as much success as you wanted. So I want you to know that I've been in your position before. I know what it's like to have tough years. I know what it's like to have good years and then fall off. So I've been in those positions before, and I want you guys to embrace that. Okay, we all go through different stories. All of us here have different stories and different, scenarios, and we're all going down, our own paths. And our own path are all designed differently. Okay, my path is not the same as your path, right? My path will not be the same as Alyssa's path, as CJ's, as Brian's, as Jonathan, as Millionaire Maker. All of our paths are going to be different. Some of us are going to get there, first than others, right? Some of us are going to take longer. Some of us are going to take more time. Everybody's path is different. That's why they say never compare yourself, right? I remember I used to be the one that compared myself until I learned this. Comparison is the thief of all joy. Comparison is the thief of all joy, right? And if we look at, the emotional guidance scale, right? Joy is the top vibration. Joy is the number one vibration on the emotional guidance scale. So every time you compare yourself, you are robbing yourself of your own joy. You are robbing yourself of the highest vibration that you can experience. So I stopped comparing myself because I used to be like, damn, this person got this before me. This person got this rank before me. Damn, he's already making more money than me. He just started this. How is that possible? Dude, I know people that came into this business and made more money than me in a year than what took me 3 to 4 years to do. But I can't compare myself. I know people who've had better scenarios than me because guess what? They came into this business with a job. I didn't have a job, right? They were able to invest more than me. They were able to make certain things. I wasn't able to do that. I stopped comparing myself because what I realized was that comparison that I was doing was robbing me of the joy that I had. And it was keeping me at a low vibration, and which means I can't think high vibrational thoughts when my joy is being robbed due to what? My comparison. Always comparing myself. You know what I started to do? I started to train my mind to celebrate others when they get things. Because remember, when you hate on somebody or when you feel envy or jealousy of somebody that got something before you or got something that you wanted, you're basically telling God or the universe, whatever you believe in, that you hate that. Because if, let's say, for example, you see me winning and you're like, damn, bro, Nano got to win before me. Nano got more money than me now. Nano hit that rank before me. Think about that. You want those things for yourself, but you're hating on the person that got it first. You see how that works? Somebody explained that to me and I'm like, shit, you're right. And excuse my language, I'm like, yo, you're so right. Why would I hate that this person got to that rank when I want that? Why would I hate that this person, got to 7 figures when I want 7 figures? Why would I hate that this person bought his mom and dad a house when I want to buy my mom and dad a house? What I'm going to do is I'm going to celebrate that. I'm going to be excited for him. I'm going to send them even more good energy because you know what that tells God? You know what that tells the universe? That I'm ready for the same blessing. If you can celebrate somebody, okay? If you can celebrate somebody that got the things that you want, that shows massive maturity in you. That's what I started to do. I started to celebrate everybody. Yo, you making $50,000 a month? Let's go, bro. I'm so for you, but like truly happy though. Not like that fake happy, like, yo, what's up, bro? I'm happy for you. And then once he turns his face, he's like, forget that dude, yo. He got lucky. No, like truly happy for the person. Like, bro, I am so happy for you. I am truly happy for you, bro. I wish you more blessings, bro. I wish you more love. I wish you more abundance. Like truly being happy for people when they win is super key. And this is not even the training, guys. Sorry, I went on a little rant, but somebody needed to hear that today. Okay, somebody needed to hear that today. Okay, somebody needed to hear that today. That has nothing to do with the training that I have today. But I just went on one of those little rants of mine. But make sure that you guys understand that. Okay, that was a quick little training, right, Alyssa? Quick little training, real quick. Little quick 10-minute training. Sauce nonetheless. But whoever needed to hear that today, stay with it. If you've been comparing yourself, if you've been, worried about this person's journey, that person's journey, what this person has on their plate and what you don't have on your plate, just be grateful for what you have and celebrate others around you. Okay? Right? Add that to the keys. Facts. Okay, but let's talk about the training for today. Facts, Natalia. I'm so glad that you took that. Right, let's talk about the keys for today. So the 4 keys on how to finish strong. Okay, how do we finish strong, right? And it goes back to what I was saying, right? It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, right? Now, the first step in finishing strong is you got to renew the mind. Okay, that's number 1. Renew the mind. Okay, we got to always remember, fam, that the way that we've been programmed, all of us, every single one of us on this call right now, we've all been programmed to be employees and to fail and to follow the system. I need everybody to understand that. Drop a 1 in the chat box if you are aware of that really quick. If you are aware that you have been programmed. Nano, what do you mean by program? Program means that somebody controlled the way that you think. Okay, from the moment that we were born, we've been programmed to think a certain way. Even before we were born, okay, our parents were programmed to think a certain way. They were programmed to think to be employees, which means to work for the next person. Okay, we've been programmed to live average, and we've been programmed to follow the system. That's what we've been programmed to do since we were in the belly. Okay, even before we existed, that's what the program has always been. Okay, now the reason why it is so hard for people to become successful is because you have to break years and years and years and years and years of bad programming. That's why it is so hard. That's why you don't see why you think that they say you ever hear the numbers? The numbers scare me when I hear them. 95% of people never get to live the life that they want. Only 5% of people do. I don't know about you guys, but those numbers scare me. 95% of people never get to live the life that they truly want. 95%. Only 5% of people in the whole world ever get to live the life that they truly want. When I think about that, I'm like, yo, who designed the system for all of us to fail? And the messed up part is, guys, let me tell you, if we didn't have access to this information, we would be a part of that 95%. Luckily for us, we already a part of the 5%. And I want you to understand, it's not based off of the money that you have. Trust me, guys, I was broke, but I had a 5% mindset. So I don't ever want you to think like, oh, Nano, I'm a part of the 95%. No, you're not, because you have access to the information. It's what you do with the information that matters. That's why I keep telling you guys that the 4th quarter is all about action. But if you want to finish strong, you have to renew the mind. And something that Jason Brown was saying was, he said, yo, you have to speak what you already are. You have to change the story that you are telling yourself about yourself. Write that down. Change the story that you're telling yourself about yourself. Listen to that again. Change the story that you're telling yourself about yourself. We got to change that. We have to renew the mind. Okay? This is so important, because the thing is that, believe it or not, The reality that you live is based off of the story that you tell yourself. You ever hear somebody complain about their life or about the things that they're going through, and next time you hear somebody talk, they'll tell you their story without you even asking for it. You know, when people talk to me, they tell me their stories without them even directly telling me their story, because they tell you what they're thinking. Remember, what people speak determines what they're thinking. And based off their thinking, that already tells you the story that they're living in their mind. If they're telling you how struggling financially, they're stressed, things never work their way, they can't seem to build the business, this happens, that happens, struggles, this, that, blah, 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 blah. That's the story that they're telling themselves about themselves. I'm struggling. The two most powerful words in the world are I am struggling, I am stressed, I can't seem to figure it out, nothing works in my favor. All of these things that we speak become the reality that we live. The words have very, very powerful, they're very powerful. So what you have to do is you have to change the narrative. You have to change the story. And I tell you guys what, everything you guys see me live today, the multiple six figures, the traveling of the countries. I've been to 12 different countries, me speaking on stages all over the world. Okay, all of this, I've spoken this before it happened. I would always say I am a multiple six-figure earner. I do have thousands of people in my business. I speak on stages all around the world. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I can go into my journal and I can find something right now that talks about, let me see if I have I know I wrote a letter to myself not too long ago. Let me see. I wrote a letter to myself not too long ago. Dude, and you do it, and I promise you, I want to see if I have it in this one. It's probably in the last one that I did. No, it's not in this one. I'm sorry. I was going to read you guys one of the stories that I tell myself. Because I write stories to myself. I convince myself of certain stories all the time. You got to convince yourself of stories. Congratulations letter. Listen to this congratulations letter. Oh, no, that's not it. But you got to speak the story that you want to live. Speak it, continuously talk about it. All right. What do you want to be? I am a successful entrepreneur who is living the life of her or his dreams. And I'm investing into multiple different investment properties. And my kids are healthy. My mom is healthy. I am in the best shape of my life. I am consistent. I wake up early. I do all things through Christ. Right. You know, you got to start speaking the story that you want to live now. What are the words? What is the story that you want to live? I mean, what story do you want to live, Angelica, Nikki, Vima, Victoria, Melissa, Danielle, Alpha? What story do you want to live? Speak it. Everything I live today, I spoke it multiple times. I spoke it so many times. Everything that I live today, I spoke it into existence because I made that my new story. I stopped telling myself, Nano, you're broke. I stopped telling myself, Nano, you're lacking money financially. I stopped telling myself all of these things. I stopped telling myself, Nano, you suck at attracting leaders. You don't make good investments. I stopped telling myself that, and I started telling myself the reality that I wanted to live, even though I wasn't living it in the moment. Don't let that go over your head. Even though I wasn't traveling the world at the time, I was still speaking it. Even though I wasn't making the multiple six figures, I was speaking it. Even though I didn't have a team of thousands, I still spoke it. I still spoke it. I spoke the things that I wanted to live because I had to renew my mind. I had to renew the things that I was telling myself. I was telling myself a false story. Remember, you can be, do, or have anything that you want in life based off of the story that you tell yourself. You can literally live the life of your dreams if you convince yourself of a different story. Dude, I convinced myself that I was a multiple six-figure earner before I was a multiple six-figure earner. I convinced myself of being a world traveler when I only had 1 or 2 countries under my belt. Now I'm at 12. I convinced myself that I was going to speak on stages all around the world. And now I've spoken on stages in the United States. I've spoken on stages in Barcelona, in Madrid, in Zurich. Look at that. But I used to speak that when I never spoke in none of these places. You see how that works? It works, fam. I'm telling you, but you have to convince yourself of it. You have to stop telling your mind that sad story about yourself and tell your mind the story that you truly want to live. This is part of the spiritual side of success. The words, the thoughts, the emotions, your self-image, what you see yourself as. It is so key. This is why I say the morning routine is the key. You got to invest into yourself. You got to buy the books. You got to listen to the audios. You got to go to the events. You got to invest into yourself. I truly believe that I've invested so much money into myself. You know how many books I've bought? How many audios I've purchased? How many courses I've bought? How many events I've been to? Dude, I have so much stuff that I've invested into myself. You know why? Because I'm renewing my mind. And I'm still renewing my mind to this day. Got to continue to renew the mind each and every single day. You want to be a chairman? You want to be a successful leader? Speak it. What is the story? Right? What is that story? I am a chairman 100. I have a business of 5,000 customers worldwide with over 10 plus chairmen and educators in my business. I am traveling the world, impacting lives as a world-renowned speaker. Right? Speak it. Speak it. What life do you want to live? Start learning the power of the word. Start learning that your words create, but they also destroy. And I remember when words would destroy. Words destroyed a lot of my future in the past because I wasn't speaking the right words. I was using words like I can't. I was using words like I am bad things. I am negative. I am broke. I am this. I am that. I was using words that were against the reality that I wanted to live. I was sending mixed signals to the world, to the universe, to the energy levels. I would say I am a six-figure earner to myself, but then I would look at my bank account and be like, damn, I am broke. You know? I would tell myself I am attracting leaders into my business, and then I would go through something and I'd be like, damn, bro, I never attract nothing into my business. No, you have to make sure that you are speaking the right words at all times. And you know, and you want to know how to practice this? Just be conscious of people when they speak. Sit down and be conscious. Just sit down sometimes and just be conscious of what people are saying around you, and they will tell you their stories without them even telling you directly. When people talk to me, I listen to their words because their words allow me to understand what they're thinking. And what they're thinking, I know, determines what the reality that they're living. So I sit there and I'm like, okay, you're speaking that. You have a lot. You want to speak that. You want to speak that you're struggling. You're speaking that you're struggling. I am struggling. I can't seem to figure it out. My business isn't growing. I keep taking losses. I'm not confident in myself. Think about that. You speak that, that will become your reality. And it doesn't matter that you're going through it. Stop speaking it. Stop telling everybody your problems. Stop speaking all of these things. When people ask you how you're doing, tell everybody you're doing amazing. I'm doing good and getting better every day. That's what I used to tell people. Yo, I'm doing great and I'm getting better every day. Life, everything works in my favor. I'm living a life of abundance and freedom. That's what I've been telling myself that for years. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. Life always works in my favor. Even the challenges are in my favor. You got to believe it. I get miracles and I accept miracles. And it's true. I get miracles. I'd be like, yo, it's true. It's so amazing how there's times that I get caught in certain situations and I'd be like, bro, people are like, yo, that's amazing, Nano, how that worked in your favor. And I'm like, wow, thank God that I speak that so much. Because I say everything always works in my favor. There's certain things that wasn't supposed to work in my favor, but they did. And then I tell myself like, yo, thank God I speak that. It worked in my favor because I've renewed my mind. So number one thing you got to do, you want to finish strong, you got to renew the mind. Stop. You got to tell yourself a different story. What is the story you're going to tell yourself? Okay. Number two, okay, is you got to have thick skin. Number two is you got to have thick skin. Let me teach you something. Every level you get to is the bottom of the next mountain. Never forget that. Every time you hit a new level, that new level is the bottom of the next mountain. I hope you guys understand that really quick. So I reached the next level. Boom, I hit the next level. But now that is the bottom of the next mountain I got to climb. And the problem with certain people is that they hit a new level and they think that they made it. And what they don't realize is that now they got a new mountain that they got to climb. And that in order for them to climb this new mountain, they got to grow. They got to elevate. They have to continue to renew the mind. They have to continue to have what? Thick skin, rhino skin. Because the higher the levels, the harder it gets. The harder it gets. A lot of people ask me, Neno, how do you do it, bro? Because people who are close to me, they know some of the stuff that I've gone through. And just the other day, you know, they were laughing about it because, you know, we were having a conversation and they were like, yo, I watched Nano literally like going through it like minutes before Mornings with Nano, like minutes before it. Like I've watched Nano go through some tough things right before Mornings with Nano. And I've watched him open up the laptop, close his eyes, set an intention, and it was like the problems didn't even exist. My boy Adam told me the same thing. He was like, bro, I've seen you on your way to an event, to speak at an event, and you're on the phone having conversations that are crazy that you're even having these conversations before an event. And then you arrive at the event and it's like those things don't even exist to you anymore because I know how to turn it on and off at all times. And I explained to them that that mindset came from being a baseball player, right? Because growing up being a baseball player, I was always taught and I was always installed in my mind that when you're in the field, you're in the field. When you're at home, you're at home. You never bring your problems to the baseball field. Once you go into those lines, it's business. When it's business, it's business. When it's personal, it's personal. So for me, this is my family. So I could be going through whatever I'm going through. I could be struggling. I could be going through one of the toughest times of my life. But the moment I open up this laptop and I go live on YouTube, none of that exists anymore. I will never bring my problems on Mornings with Nano. You know why? Because I have thick skin. I don't allow the problems to bring me down. I don't allow the things that are happening in my life, okay, to hold me back from serving my purpose, from doing what I promised my family to do. Never, no matter how hard it gets, it's a struggle, yes. It's hard, yes. I'm going through it, yes. Am I emotional? Yes. But I have thick skin. And in this business and in this life and in this journey, you're gonna have you need to have thick skin. You gotta have thick skin, guys, because we are going to get tested so many times. Yes, having thick skin is mental, yes. And thick skin is just, not allowing the outside circumstances to affect you. You got to be tough in this journey, fam. You can't be soft. You can't. You cannot be soft. I know. And look, I know it's easy for me to say sometimes, and I've taken this into account because, my friend was actually telling me this yesterday. He said, bro, Nano, you got to understand that, bro, you're from New York. You from the hood, bro. Like, you come from tough times. You come from thick-skinned people. Some people didn't grow up in those scenarios. People don't understand failure. This is people's first time having to experience, tough times. This is people's first time being challenged, being, criticized, and I'm like, you're right. You're right. I do got to take the time to understand that, because sometimes one of my weaknesses, or sometimes one of the things that I have, is that I believe that everybody has to think like me. Right? I'm like, bro, but everybody got to be like this, and everybody has to act like this. And I need to understand that not everybody grew up in the environments that I grew up in. Not everybody was, not everybody played baseball like I did. I played a game of failure. That not everybody did those things. There's certain things that people didn't do growing up, and I had the pleasure and I had the luxury of having those things early on in my career. So guess what? I grew into that, right? Some people are now going through those things. They're now going through their first failures, their first face of adversities, their first criticisms, all of this stuff. Right? So I've already learned to be like that. Some people, you can't be hard on them. Me, I love when people are hard on me. There's certain people that I can't be hard on them because they've never had people be hard on them. Right? So, we got to understand who's what in our journey. And that goes for all of us. Right? Because I know that some of you guys come from tough areas as well. Right? And I know some of y'all stories, and I listen to some of y'all stories, and I'm like, bro, some of you guys have been through worse things than I ever have. Some of you guys have gone through tougher things than I ever did. And I'm like, damn, I thought I had tough skin. I thought I went through stuff. Some of you guys have gone through things that, bro, I praise you for getting through it. So in this journey, you got to have that thick skin. You have to, especially these years coming up. Because look, guys, as you guys can see, things is getting hard out there for people, bro. And every day I see it more and more and more. I was walking up the street the other day, and my boy was telling me, bro, the streets is hungry right now, bro. Everybody's struggling out here, my G. Because he saw me pull up, before I went to my wedding. I pulled up in a nice suit, everything. I'm good in the hood. I'm good out here. People love me. But he talked to me. He was just telling me, he was like, bro, like, yo, people hungry out here in the hood, G. Like, people going through it, bro. People don't got $20 to their names right now, bro. Like, people really going through it out here in the streets, bro. For real, for real. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. It put a lot of things into perspective for me. Like, yo, that's why all of this stuff is happening in the hoods, bro. Is because people, people, people need money, bro. Like, people struggling. People that were up a year ago, 2 years ago, they struggling right now. They going through it right now. And it's getting more and more rough for certain people, bro, because remember, everything is set up for people to lose. Inflation, gas prices, groceries, everything is going up, but people are making the same money, and if not less. You know how many people are going to lose their jobs in the next 2 years because of technology? Millions. Millions of people are going to lose their jobs. They never learned the skill. They don't know how to make money online. They don't know how to be their own boss. They've been dependent on the system their whole lives. You know how hard it's about to get for certain people out there? That's why we need to be the ones that wake people up. We the chosen ones that have been chosen to be the light in a dark world. That's why you got to take your journey and you got to be grateful for the position that you're in, because you've been chosen. Every single one of you guys listening to this call right now, you've been chosen to be the light in a dark world. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about information. You have access to it. Don't stop serving your purpose because of the problems and the situations that you're going through. Be the one that is actually speaking life into people, showing people like, yo, there is a better way. You can get out of this situation. I know a way that you can get out of the situation that you're in. That's why it blows my mind when people are like, yo, Nano, I don't want to talk to people about my business. I don't want to tell people about what I do. Dude, you have the solution to everybody's problems right in your hands, and you rather keep it to yourself. You should be telling everybody about this. Everybody should know about this. This is why I speak so proudly about my business. I want to make sure that everybody, at least they know that if anything was to go left, that, yo, at least I know that Nano's there. Nano has an opportunity for me to get out of my situation. They might not be ready now, but I'm telling you, in the next few years, people are going to need us more now than ever before. People are going to need the opportunities that we have. They're going to need this more than they ever needed it before. I promise you that. Because the mindset that people are going to need to make it through the next 2 years, you're going to have tough, thick skin to make it through the next few years. And it's not to scare you. It's not to scare you. It's to make you aware. It is to make you aware. If you do not have the mindset, if you don't have your mind in the right place, okay, if you're not connected spiritually, if you don't have your emotional intelligence at the highest level, you will struggle and you will suffer a lot these next few years because of the shift that is happening in our world. And it's something that we have no control over. The only thing we have control over is what the actions that we take. So if there was ever a time to start building a relationship with your creator, that time is now. If there was ever a time for you to start developing better emotional intelligence, that time is now. These are the times where the great will separate themselves from the rest. So you gotta have thick skin. Thick skin. Okay, that's number 2. Okay, number 3. All right, and a lot of us are very familiar with this word. Okay, is you gotta stay persistent. You gotta stay persistent. And I'm not gonna speak too much on this because we already all know this, but I'm gonna remind you guys. If we look up the definition of persistence on Listen to what it says. Definition of persistence means continuing firmly or obstinately in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. Continuing firmly in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. We need to be persistent. And I want you to ask yourself, have you been persistent truthfully? Have you been persistent in spite of all the difficulty that you've gone through, in spite of all the struggles and the curveballs that life has thrown you? Have you stayed persistent? Is that one of the qualities that you have? Can everybody type in the chat box for me? I am persistent. Can everybody type that for me in the chat box? I am persistent. I am persistent. Speak it. Speak it. Right? You know why? Because we are going to continue firmly in the course of action in spite of the difficulty and the opposition that we are experiencing. We will continue no matter what. We will continue no matter what. Type a 1 in the chat box if you're dealing with some difficulties right now. If you're dealing with some difficulties right now, put a 1. Any kind of difficulties, whether it's financially, relationships, mentally. Look at us. Let me put a 1 in the chat box as well, because I'm also going through some difficulties as well. We are going through difficulties, fam. All of us. Look, just so you can see that you're not the only one dealing with difficulties. Just pay attention. You're not the only one. Look at that. Look at how awesome that is. Look at how amazing it is that we all are going through it. None of us, we not alone, fam. 111's at 1111. We all going through difficulties, fam. All of us. Somebody said, y'all have no idea. Trust me, there's probably a few people in this that will tell me the same thing. We all going through it, bro. All of us. Nano, on this call right now, Nano is going through it too. Don't think that because I was in Dubai and I was in Italy and all of these things, don't let that stuff fool you, bro. I'm also going through stuff as well. I'm also dealing with things as well. I jumped on this call dealing with things. But you know what? We show up every day. We persist. We keep going. Because I am persistent. Okay? I understand that life is a series of peaks and valleys. I know I can't stop. How would I ever allow my problems to stop me from serving my purpose if we all going through it together? We're going through character building times, and that's okay. I'm grateful we're going through these character building times. You know why? Because what God is doing is he's preparing us for the times that are coming. Because we're going to need to be tougher than where we are right now. And that's the facts. So don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as a positive. It's all preparation for what's to come. Because we're going to need to have thick skin to make it through the next few years of our lives. It's all preparation. That's all it is. It's all preparation. Okay, so we got to be persistent. All right. Very, very key. And then last but not least, number 4. Okay, is protect your energy. Protect your energy. Protect your energy at all cost. Those negative environments, you got to get rid of them. The negative people, you got to get rid of them. Not get rid of them, but separate yourself. Those negative relationships, those toxic relationships, got to stop them. Got to fix them. Okay? We got to protect our energy at all cost. Be careful who you're exchanging your energy with. Okay, be careful who's pouring into you. Be careful the people that you're speaking to. Be careful the people that you're following on social media. Be careful the things, the music that you're listening to. Protect your energy, because there's a lot of energy vampires out there. For my guys, protect your energy, fam. Okay, use that energy that you have towards all these other things, towards your friends and girls and boys, whatever it is, and use that towards your goals. Stop exchanging your energies with just anybody. That goes for all of us. Don't exchange your energy with just anybody. It's a very cold world right now. It's a very tough world right now. Be careful with who you are exchanging your energy with. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you don't. We'll keep it at that. But be careful who you are exchanging your energy with. That plays a huge part in your life. You got to make sure you are protecting yourself at all costs. Okay, this is key information that I'm giving you guys right now. This is some of the biggest things that you can protect yourself from right now is your energy. Yes, need to grow that thick skin. Okay, make sure you're protecting your ears, protecting your eyes, protecting everything. I am protecting everything right now. I will not allow myself to fall into low vibrations. I will not allow myself to fall into any of that. We are in momentum. We are experiencing higher highs. My life is amazing. We are expecting miracles and we are getting miracles. We pushing every single day. Okay, so if you want to finish strong, those are the 4 keys to finishing strong. Number 1, renew the mind. Number 2, develop thick skin. Number 3 was stay persistent. And number 4 is protect that energy. Jason Brown gave me this training. He's one of my mentors. And trust me when I tell you, it was facts and it was things that I needed to hear. All right. Make sure that you guys are protecting that energy at all costs. Learn how to turn those sexual desires into desires for your goals. For real, for real. Learn how to do certain things. Start working on yourself. Protect your energy. Protect your family's energy. It's scary times out there. But thankfully, we have each other. And even though we all go through our struggles together, always remember that we are a family and that you're never alone. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult it gets, remember we are a family. You can guarantee that Nano will be here and all of us will be here tomorrow morning again, Thursday, October 13th. We will be here Friday, October 14th, and we will be here every morning because this is how it is. And this is what life is about. It's about creating a family of people that come together, that regardless of whatever walks of life we come from, okay, we work together to become better versions of ourselves, to protect ourselves and to serve our purpose and create a better life for the future. Because everything we do now, all the decisions and the choices we make now is so that our kids can live a better future based off of the decisions that we make. We're going to break those generational curses for our families. We're going to be the ones, okay? We are going to be the ones. Let me tell you guys something. We're going to be the ones in our houses that have statues. They're going to have statues of us in our houses because we were the ones that broke the generational curses for our families, and our families are going to live a life of financial abundance and freedom and have access only to the best of the best information based off of the choices that we made today. So don't say, why me? Why am I going through this? Be like, yes, God, thank you for choosing me to go through this because I'm going through this. This is going to make me stronger. This is going to make me wiser. This is going to make me a better version of myself so I can be strong enough to break those generational curses, because it takes a different kind of person to break those curses and to develop that generational wealth. It's not for everybody. And it takes somebody that is strong. It takes somebody that is persistent. It takes somebody that is willing to be able to do that. And guess what? We are all connected because we're going to do it. And I say that with passion, and I say that with the most intensity and conviction, because I know it's us. We were chosen. We were chosen. So guess what? We're going to live it now. If you're on this call, you were chosen to be successful. You were chosen as the person in your family to break the curses. So don't complain when you're going through it. Be grateful that you're going through it, because everything that you're going through is because you need to become stronger. You need to grow into that person now. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. It's your choice if you quit, though. If you quit, then it's going to be passed on, and then somebody else will be chosen in your family. But if you're on this call, you were chosen. You were chosen. Never forget that. You were chosen. You were given that bill. You were given that bill. Like, here, it's your turn. Let's see if you're gonna break the generational curses for your family. Let's see if it's gonna be you that does it for your family. It's your turn now. The rest of your family has failed, unfortunately. Let's see what you're gonna do. Are you gonna pay it, or you gonna pass it? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. I'm gonna pay it. I'm gonna pay it in full. And if it means I gotta go through years of struggles, then I will. If it means that I gotta pay off all the karmic debts that I have, I will. Whatever it takes, I will do it. Because I will make sure that I am the last of my family chain to go through struggles. That's the reason why I haven't even had kids yet, to be 100% real with you. And I won't have kids for another few years until I know for a fact that these curses are broken for sure. I will not bring my kid into this world until I am ready 100%. Not knocking anybody that already has their kids. Not at all. But I got to make sure that when I bring them in, him or her, that the curses have been broken. This is it's more of a priority for me right now than having kids. Trust me. I am ready more than ever. And I can't wait to be a dad, to be honest. Cannot wait. Cannot freaking wait, to be honest. But it's going to take me at least another 2 or 3 years before I have a kid. I can't wait. Little nenitos and little nenitas, right? My daughter is probably going to have her nickname is going to be Nena for sure. But I want to have a girl, to be real. And then after that, I can have all boys, but I want a girl. But fam, that right there is the end of the call. If you guys got value from today's call, put a 333 in the chat box, fam. Take your time, seriously. A lot of people always tell me that, like, yo, bro, take your time, my G. There's certain people who are like, yo, just take your time. Everybody that has kids always tell me, yo, take your time, take your time, take your time. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing it right, because I am taking my time. But I will have it I want to have it before I'm 30. I'm 28 now, so we'll see. We'll see. Please do not rush. No, please. I won't. Trust me, I won't. I don't want to be too old either, though, but I'm definitely not going to rush. As long as I get it before, 30, 31. I feel like 30, 31, 32 are good ages, right? You guys let me know, right? Some of you guys have kids and you guys are mothers and fathers already. But fam, that was the end of the call. I'm just grateful. I know I had a little training for you guys, but a lot of the stuff that I said outside of the training was what I want you guys to um to remember. A lot of that stuff, the comparison stuff, the stories, it really, really is important that you guys take this extremely serious. I'm sorry that I'm going over time. I really don't want these calls to go over an hour. This call has already been going for an hour and 10 minutes, but I hope you guys really take these trainings and really like install them into your mind. Like hear my voice, hear it, like hear my voice and be like, yo, Nano told me to stay persistent through these tough times. Nano told me to have thick skin. Nano told me not to speak those words anymore and renew my mind, like actually renew it. Let me speak who I want to be. Let me protect my energy. Nano said, yo, protect my energy from the food, from the people, from this, from that. Like actually take what I'm telling you guys, because everything that I am telling you is things that very successful people are telling me. So I'm only speaking to you guys what the higher ups are speaking to me. All right, fam. So I'm going to do a quick prayer and we're going to get out of here. All right, fam. Quick prayer and we're out. Everybody bow your heads. Let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with another beautiful Wednesday morning that we get a chance to wake up and serve our purpose. Today was such a powerful morning. You spoke directly through me to the family, and we all needed to hear that message. We all understand the importance of the word now and speaking the existence that we want to live. Having that tough skin, Father, I ask that you continue to help us develop that tough skin, because I know that tough times and struggles, are upon us. And through these tough times, we know that you're not doing it to hurt us. You're actually doing it to develop us, to make us stronger, to make us wiser. And I ask that you give us the discernment to realize that. 'Cause some of us look at it as a problem. Some of us look at it as, why am I going through this? But in reality, we're going through those things to make us better. And some of us need to really realize that. So I ask that you give us all that discernment. I ask that through those tough times when we lack energy, when we lack desire, that you help us find that desire, that you help us find that energy, because these individuals who are on this call, and I speak on behalf of all of us, we are ready to serve our purpose more than ever, God. And we are ready to do exactly what it is that's required of us, because we understand that we have to be the change that we want to see in the world. And it's all up to us. It can't be up to anybody else, Father. But we're grateful that we have you as a leader. We're grateful that we have you leading the way for us and guiding us through this process, because we couldn't have asked for anybody else, Father. So continue to guide us, continue to bless us, continue to give us the strength that we need each and every single day to push through these times, because we know that better times are right around the corner. So we love you. We appreciate you. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Man, that was a fire ass prayer, right? That was a good one right there. That one was lit. Yeah, I know when I have my good ones, I have my okay ones, I have my lit ones. That one was lit. I like that one a lot. That one was awesome. And all the glory always goes back to God, man. We give him all the glory always, because nothing that we have today wouldn't even be possible without him, fam. So, yo, let's go out there and have a great day. I feel a high sense of energy. I don't know about you guys, but I feel a high sense of energy right now. Like, I'm ready to go out there and run through walls. Let's go out there and run these presentations. Let's go get uncomfortable. Let's go read these books. Let's go write our goals down. Like, let's go do something powerful, fam. Like, let's go run this all the way up. I'm just so excited. I'm ready to go out there and have a very productive day, right? Type a 1 in the chat box if you're ready to go out there and have a super productive day right now. Like, I don't know if they, honestly, like after that prayer, my energy just went up like that. Boom. Like that energy was just boom. It's just like, I'm just ready now. Like, it was like I had energy before it, but like after that, it felt like a huge sense of energy just shifted. It felt like a shift happened. I don't know. Did anybody else shift with me? Did anybody else feel that shift? Because, man, I felt that shift right away, man. I felt that shift very strongly. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Turn on the post notifications. Like this video. If you haven't liked this video, we only have 126 likes so far. Leave a comment on one thing that you learned from this. Share this with somebody. you guys know, there is a Mornings with Nano journal that's out there right now for sale. If you guys want to get your own Mornings with Nano journal, so that you guys can be able to keep track of all the notes and everything that we have here. We have a journal that's on Amazon right now that you guys can get. I'm gonna drop the link right in here. Okay, if you guys want to get that journal, it's super dope. It's awesome. It's great. You're able to keep track of everything. It has trainings. It has gold cards. Has everything that you need. So you guys can get locked in with this. So I'm grateful. Shout out to Jasmine for the great journal. And this is it right here. So if you need a journal for the Mornings when Nano calls, so you can keep track of, the notes and all of the stuff that we do, we're always here, fam. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode, fam. Let's run it.